lemonade reminds me of a time that I was out riding my bike on the Niagara Parkway, and we were so thirsty. We almost couldn't go any further. We'd already finished our water bottles, and then we looked across the street and we saw in front of the house there was a table with a group of kids sitting behind it, and they had a big sign in front of it and it said, "Ice cold lemonade," and they were selling it. So we put our hands in our pockets and our jacket to see if we had enough money, and we rushed over because we needed that lemonade so bad, and it was the best lemonade we'd ever had. Another way that you can make some lemonade is by adding freshly squeezed lemon into your cup, and put a little bit more inside of it, but adding freshly squeezed lemon, maybe just a little bit of water, and adding just a little bit of sugar to taste. Let's try that out. A little sour, but really good. I was going on a walk this morning and I saw this beautiful cardinal on top of one of the houses. I tried to get a picture, but it was a little bit far away. And it got me to wondering if birds drink water. So I went home and I Googled it, and you know what? They do. Now, a bird that actually eats insects doesn't need as much water, but they still drink it. So I am gonna fill this bird bath water fountain for the birds in my neighborhood. Beautiful robin. Tablespoon measure. I'm gonna stir it. Did you know that hummingbirds actually drink a lot of nectar every single day? And they have this super long beak, but they actually have a super tiny little tongue that's coiled up that goes into the little tiny flowers to get them. So I'm gonna fill this up and put it up so that I can give the hummingbirds in our neighborhood something to drink when they get thirsty. There he goes, drinking all that water. Jake always can find his water bottle no matter what. He'll sit there if you're not there, and he'll just stand there until you fill it. Even the birds, a deer, even our dog Jake knows when he's thirsty. And when he's thirsty, he makes sure that he gets all the water that he needs. What happens when something gets thirsty? Here's a tomato plant and it hasn't been watered. You can see that it's just a little bit limp, not very strong. Sad to say, here's another tomato plant. This really shows you what happens when something doesn't get watered for a long time, or when something stays thirsty for too long. It just sort of dries up and dies. And my question is, how do you know when you're thirsty?
I know when I'm thirsty when I'm sweaty. I know I'm thirsty when my lips are dry.
Sometimes we get thirsty in our spirit, and that means that we need God. Now you're gonna drink it. Oh my goodness, look at this. Being thirsty reminds me of a psalm in the Bible, Psalm 42, and it was written by David. And I'm just gonna put it in my own words. And David says, "A deer thirsts after living water." And then he goes on to say, in the same way, he was saying, he thirsts for God. You see, David, he wasn't able to get to the tabernacle, and he loved to worship God with other people, but he wasn't able to go. Wasn't COVID-19, but he was on the run, either from his son or from King Saul, and he wasn't able to go. And he was looking about some things and thinking about stuff and saying, oh, if only I could. But then he remembers, how does he get rid of that thirst that he has for God? He puts his hope in God and remembers God. So how do we know when our spirit's thirsty? Well, maybe we haven't been to church for a long time with other people. Maybe we just are finding out that we're a little bit more angry than normal. We're impatient. We're being disobedient to our parents. All those things can help us know that our spirit is thirsty for God. I remember a time I was with my sister, and that was the day when a little bit of money would go so far in buying candy. We had probably 25 cents. We were at the candy store. We could buy anything we wanted. I wanted my sister to go first so that I could pick the same candy as her, but she wouldn't. She made me go first. I was so mad, so angry, but you know what? I didn't realize it, that my spirit was thirsty for God. So if you're thirsty, would you drink a pop? Obviously not. That would make you more thirsty. So how do we put our hope in God? Think about God. Read the Bible. Sing about God. And thank God. Here's what you can do. Build a tent. Go under your bed. Find a quiet place that you can read your Bible. Talk to God. Think about God. And put your hope in Him. When you put your hope in God, He will quench your thirst. Okay, the names are in. Let's find out who won our weekly draw. And it is Lily Lou. Congratulations! Great job, guys. I see some dioramas, some coloring sheets. Some of you have been listening to Pastor Billy's sermon. I see you've done crafts from the vlog, even some incredible art projects. Don't forget, June 25th, we're going to be making a draw for 2 absolutely amazing kids' Bibles. Send us your artwork.